Hello everyone, this is Fred DeBerg and this is another edition of Fred Talk. I'm very excited to have my next guest that is a fellow dancer and a wonderful artist. Her name is Kaseys Viani. Kasey, nice to have you here.
Hi Fred, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. Tell me a little bit about your background. When did you start dancing?
Forever.
2 years old.
Yes, forever. I was born into shoes.
Oh, goodness
My mother
gracious.
put me into toe shoes, but she was very vigilant about making sure I was healthily trained, not being thrown into something that was inappropriate for my age.
Now, in our brief conversation earlier yesterday, you told me that ballet wasn't your favorite thing.
No, I hated it.
I
hated it. Many a ballet class I walked out of, and the teacher hated me for that, even chased me into the locker room on that one, but it's foundational. It's foundational, and I teach it to
ironically
this day.
enough,
Yep.
it was ballet that brought me back into shape to be able to do what I do today. So you started at 2. Now, were you a competitive dancer when you were a kid?
No, I didn't do competitions. I did recitals and after school programs because I was brought up in a parochial school, and so arts did not exist. And so my parents saw how much I desired and where I was happiest. They saw that I came alive dancing. And so they chased studio after studio, and I just kind of studio bounced from the age of 2 until the age of 18.
That's amazing.
Outside of school, so I would go to school all day long, and then I would train into the afternoons because I just loved it.
Right. So where did you get performance opportunities? You said recitals.
Yeah. And I did a lot of touring shows. I did shows with my churches. I did shows with regional theater groups here in town, as long as it was age appropriate. My parents were very supportive, and they drove me to all those rehearsals, and it was 10 o'clock at night, and I was in high school, and I had all these studies to do, and they completely supported my way through high school and middle school, being able to keep my skills honed and trained until I had graduated, and then I could go on to really seek really deep training.
That's amazing. Now, so moving forward, you were the main dance instructor and music director at Steel Canyon High School, correct?
Yeah.
What was your experience like there?
Oh my goodness, busy.
Well, I saw, I told you, I looked you up, and I said, my goodness, the list went on and on of what you did. How did you manage that?
A very tight calendar and schedule, and lots of communication with my kids and their families. Because there were so many after-school rehearsals, and time during class was so precious. You know, here we are combining curriculum standards, making sure that we're checking those boxes, making sure that they're getting their vocabulary, they're getting the history of dance, but then also the clock is ticking. And we have a community outreach performance so we can bring light to the program and promote recruiting the program and connecting to our sister schools like Valhalla and Hillsdale to make sure that the program survived. So it was a constant building process to secure the future of the program. It was a lot of work and just time management, a lot of time management. And I always felt like I was under the gun and didn't have enough time, but that's arts for you. You always feel like there's not enough time. I mean, you can speak to that. It's always the week of the show, and you're opening up, and we are so not ready. We're not ready. No, they don't have their costumes yet. Why don't you know your song? And why did you not remember I told you to go over there? But then on opening night, it always all comes together.
It always does.
Right? There's so much stress behind the production. And when you see your kids unravel, and you can speak to this, they unravel because they're young. They haven't seen the professional process and have faith that it comes together. It always comes together. And so that was a lot of mentorship I provided to my kids, a lot of peace. I'm like, it's going to come together. I believe in you. There's a reason why I've given you this responsibility. You can do this.
Right.
You can do this. Trust me.
And that reinforcement that you give is so incredibly valuable to those kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's
so
just
important.
it's so concrete. It is. It's very important. So what you don't know is when I went through the same process that you just discussed, I'm a weeper. So I'm always I'm a weeper. I'm like, oh, it's so good.
I feel like, Fred, stop crying. I'm crying again. You'd be like, you need to be nicer, Kasey. I'm like, you need to stop crying.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So one of the reasons that, well, as you know, we just met yesterday.
We did?
We just met yesterday.
I feel like we've known each other our whole life.
I do too.
That's so crazy.
I do too. Well, so Steel Canyon's job, now you left it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask why?
Well, I can't really speak to that.
Okay.
So I just kind of leave that there.
Okay.
And I trust in the path and future God is building for me right now.
Okay.
God has a path for sure, and I believe in that. And sometimes we don't know what that path is.
Okay.
I like to describe it to people like, you ever seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That invisible path. He has to walk across that gigantic crevice in front of him to get to the Holy Grail. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't see it. I'm looking around. I'm looking for the dirt. Like, can I just throw some dirt so I can take my first step? But
Exactly.
I'm literally taking my first step into that vacant space and trusting the plan that God has in front of me. I don't know what it is. I have no clue what it is, but I'm hopeful and I'm thankful and I'm excited. And there's been this whole COVID thing has been really, really, really hard. I'm going to be honest, really hard on me. And going through bouts of depression and frustration and just simply feeling lost. And I think I can speak to that for everybody. I think everybody has felt like that.
Absolutely.
But our arts community has definitely felt the full weight
Absolutely.
of COVID and being amputated.
Right. And that's why we're doing
world.
Fred Talk. That's exactly why we're doing
I'm so
this.
thankful you're doing this because our community needs it so bad.
Absolutely.
It's like water. We need to
Absolutely.
drink. We need a drink of water.
Absolutely. Now I met your daughter, 7 years old. Does she dance?
She does.
Oh,
Poor
good.
thing. She doesn't have a choice. She'll find her way, but she is enjoying it. I have to tell you, I was watching her in jazz class literally last week, and I was like, that's my girl. Like she was like beating the middle schoolers that were in her class, and the teacher came over and she goes, I need you to give me a pirouette. Said it, and she's like, and she whipped around. She was all clean. She didn't fall over, and I was like, and the teacher looked at her and she goes, okay, and I was like. Viani blood's okay.
So that brings up another question that I have for you. We were talking last night about parents that live vicariously through their kids.
Yeah.
And in fact, really want to be dancing. And sometimes the kid doesn't want to dance.
True.
And the parent forces them to dance. Did you see a lot of that?
Lots.
It's sad.
It is sad.
Because my studio actually caters to adults rather than kids because of that very reason.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of maturity that comes with your journey of life, and when you get into your adulthood, and that's a whole population we need to recognize when it comes to the world of dances. You know, we're instructors and we're professional performers as well, and something that we have a respect for is knowing that, you know, just because this adult now in their 30s, maybe even their 40s, because they didn't grow up training like we did, doesn't mean they don't have a right to be in that dance room and learning something fun that helps them stay healthy and makes them feel really good about themselves without judgment.
Well, and not only that, but you and I both know that dance gives a nonverbal communication opportunity. Kids that can express themselves verbally have a chance to express themselves physically.
Yes.
And it's such a valuable tool. You and I both know that.
Yes.
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 Absolutely. So if you were to choose, because I know you do a variety of styles of dance, what's your favorite?
Oh, right now, okay, it's been a journey, and I know it's been a journey for you.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking last night, but my journey right now, my favorite style to instruct and choreograph is lyrical, jazz, contemporary, modern. So it's that
infusion.
bubble. Yes, it's an infusion. It's that bubble of interpreting a very deep, resonant, reflective story. I like to pull my audience
give me a knuckle
in.
punch.
I love pulling my audience
we
in.
are going to be doing stuff because you just almost spoke my biography, right? My wife is behind the camera, by the way, and she's going, All right. Well, this has been such a delight to talk to you and also to get to know you. And I'm looking forward to the future. Like you said, we don't know what the future holds.
We don't.
But I'm telling you, I think the future has something with us collaborating.
I have so much faith in it, and I have to tell you, Fred, I was chewing my husband's ear off last night. I said, you don't even know how God is working right now. I don't know what he's doing right now, but you have to meet Fred. You have to get to know this man because I think we have a future here.
I do too.
So I
do too.
have to tell you, I have so much joy in my heart.
my
You don't
goodness.
even know.
Well,
That's why I text you. I'm like, you're such a blessing to me.
I love that you're excited because I am too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to conclude this edition of Fred Talk. Again, my name is Fred DeBerg. Let's keep the arts alive. Have a great day. God bless.